Good evening, everyone. It's October 16th, 2023, and so far this week is kind of playing out the way we were expecting it to. I was saying the Dow was extremely crowded on the short side, not to be expecting some sort of coverage to occur. There you go, a firm break of last week's highs and closing green on the day. I was also saying that the Nasdaq was looking crowded and perhaps it'd be a laggard. The Nasdaq was the only one of the four indexes, the Dow, Russell, SPY, and the Nasdaq. It was the only one that was able to, or was not able to break the prior day's high. Every other one did. Here's the Russell over here, breaking the prior day's high. Here is the S&P, just barely able to break the prior day's high, still trading within the last week's range. Overall, today's session. Let's pull up an intraday chart for a second here. Overall, today's session, I was saying that if we open above last week's close, this kind of 431.5 number, if we open above there, I was looking for us to take out yesterday's high, and that's what we got. And I was saying it's a fade anywhere between there. So this number, yesterday's high, Friday high, from there to the gap close, I was thinking it's a fade. But truth be told, I wasn't thinking it would be hours upon hours just churning at these highs. We got into that high of the day at 11 o'clock, and this thing churned up there until the close, so 5 hours just about. Uh, Important to note that today opened above yesterday's value area high. We were able to open above last week's close, and we were able to trade pretty much the entire day above the open. And look, the Nasdaq was weak, but even the Nasdaq managed to trade the entire day above the open. It was not able to take out yesterday's highs. It was not able to get into that Friday open. It rejected Friday's open, sorry. So the Nasdaq is lagging a little bit. Uh, in terms of what I'm looking for tomorrow, not really much other than look, we got some data hitting the tape pre-market, 8:30 core retail sales, I think, and that's after that industrial production. I think that'd be month over month. So maybe we get a little bit of a movement pre-market, but uh, with spending 5 hours in this what is that, $2 range, dollar and a half range? That's about 15 points on the ES. Spending so much time here makes me believe that whatever move we get tomorrow is going to be exaggerated. So not only was this a pretty consolidative session, it's also coming after 1, 2, 3, 4, now 5 days of balancing here at the highs. Um, Personally, what I would think happens is that the NASDAQ, being how weak it is, I think that goes ahead, sells down. I think the Russell, being how weak it has just been for months and months and months, I would be biased towards that also selling down. And I think the Dow will continue just try and be the bid in the market. Being that I think it does have some defensive stocks or this or that, I think that'll be our bid. That's where all the shorts are crowded in. That's where it's going to be hard to keep pressing downwards. I'd expect it to just keep covering. Um, in terms of levels and all that for tomorrow, look, if we open above, let's call it, I don't know, value area low from the session. If we open above the value area low, where is that? Let's pull that up. That's right here, 435 and 70 cents. So pretty much where we closed. If we open above there, I imagine we'll go ahead and break. We'll break yesterday's high, settlement highs, yesterday's high, the prior week's high, get into this stupid gap and close it. Maybe we get a sell off there, but really I think we could start getting some gas up to about 441. That's scenario one in my head. If we open below value area low, which I think is the more probable outcome, and in fact I'm in favor of a gap down tomorrow. That's just me. But if we do get an open below value area low, I'm going to be looking for us to take out this low of the day, get into kind of over here, and even for this to be a sell, and maybe get some bids somewhere around here. Maybe get some bids at that settlement low, but I don't think I'll be bidding on it. I think I'll be selling these areas for a move somewhere into here, that kind of sub 429 area where I think that'll be where the bids show up. Same thing on the Qs. Where is it? If we open below value or low from today, call it the opening range high, value area low, whatever you want to call it. This kind of 368.5 number. I think value area high should be right around there. Value area low, 367.22 cents. 368. Yeah, there you go. Right around the opening range high. That's where our value area high or value area low is from the session. If we open below there, I think the Nasdaq will be cleanly selling off, breaking today's low of the day, getting underneath the weekly open, breaking the last week's close, breaking settlement lows, and then maybe finding some bids near last week's lows. I imagine it gets salvaged somewhere around here. Not sure exactly where, but somewhere around this big fat zone is what I would imagine we get. Well, it looks like a nice level. Yeah, that looks decent. How does that look? Ooh, looks a little bit better. I don't know. Maybe something like that. So yeah, I guess I'm slightly bearish. We have failed to close this gap for about the millionth time. Another green session on kind of mediocre volume. And to me, really, this rally is just being continued to be led by the short squeeze on the Dow. So I'm a little bit short biased with the inability to get anywhere today, despite pretty much every card in ES's favor. It had the Dow breaking upwards, breaking yesterday's highs. The Russell was breaking out. The S&P itself was able to break yesterday's highs, but the Nasdaq just unable to break yesterday's highs, unable to break kind of this zone from about 371.5. I'm rambling now. You guys get what I mean. I'll trade it based on where we open. I'll trade it based on the opening range, the initial balance. I want to see how these auctions are breaking and being traded. But as of now, as of 11:30 at night Eastern time, I'm a little bit bearish for a gap down. Anyway, hope that helps. Hope that makes sense. Have a great night. Trade safe.